What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Kotznick here back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is the podcast for Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Talking about Michigan State. Well, kind of maybe we'll talk about some hockey here too. Talk about Michigan State basketball for the most part. Couple of seasons ending here in these last couple of days. Certainly not the greatest time. Not the most fun you'll ever have. Not the most fun I'll have recording a podcast, but Michigan State 63, UConn 67. And so obviously the Spartans are out in the Sweet 16. Again, it was super late on Friday night, so I didn't get to record that night. And I drove back from Washington, D.C. to East Lansing on Saturday, and I'm getting to record this now. And again, it all comes down to that start. That's always going to be what I'm going to think of when it comes to this game, because you were down 19 at the 10-minute mark of the first half. You can't spot UConn that. You just can't. You can't be digging out of that type of a hole early. Like, obviously, this is no duh. Like, you don't want to be down. I don't remember what the exact score was. It was like 25-6 or something. Like something you do in like the type of score you do in a video game where you're just trying to romp the score on your opponent when you're mad. Like maybe an MSU fan might have did this in a video game or something. I don't know. But it was bad. I mean, they were unrecognizable for the first, about 10 minutes or so. It was, and it was, I was kind of already prepping, like, okay, here comes the blowout. And credit to Michigan State. They fought back. I wasn't expecting them to lay down and die. I didn't think they were going to come back from the 19-point deficit. They did. I sort of. I mean, they eventually erased it and took the lead, like once, twice, maybe three times at points during the second half. But they ran out of juice towards the end. They didn't have enough. They used up all the reserves to try to fight back in and get back to that 19-point deficit. And UConn had more juice down the stretch. They made a couple of big shots, like Alex Karaban. He's played on bigger stages than this. He's won national championships. Hit a cold-blooded three with about a minute 20 or something left. I think it made a 1-point game 4. Obviously, those types of shots are gargantuan in that spot. I think Fears might hit a 3 on the other end. Someone hit a 3. I'm trying to remember the details are, but I mean, ultimately MSU lost. So but again, they hit a 3 back, but MSU's defense couldn't get the stops. Terrace Reed, who was a 59% free throw shooter, made 4 straight free throws at the very end that sealed the game for UConn. So like, you can maybe say that's luck. I call it that's kind of that's kind of a bit of a clutch gene to me. And also, at the end of the day, you shouldn't put yourself in a position where no matter really how bad the free throw shooter is, you can't hope a guy's missing free throws. I mean, kind of simple as that. But the game flow to me, it was just all shades of that first Michigan game when Michigan came into the Breslin Center. You're playing a really, really good team. Game is kind of considered a toss up for the most part. You're probably the slight underdog. And right out the gate, boom, you're down double digits. The score's lopsided. It really doesn't look good for you. You fight back. You slowly but surely you get closer towards halftime. Okay, you're kind of in it, and then okay, you start quick in the second half. Oh, you're leading now in the second half. But by the time you get to that point, you're kind of exhausted because you've had to scratch and claw for so long, while the other team maybe isn't using quite as much energy. And both Michigan and UConn, those aren't mentally weak teams. So if you take the lead on the second half, crowd's going crazy. Oh, what's happening? What could happen here? Like, it's chaos basically. They're not phased by that. UConn's not going to be phased by that. They weren't. Michigan wasn't, even in the Breslin Center. It was. I don't want to say it was like the same game, but it felt really, really similar in that way. Like a physical game, not testy, but like it just again it was kind of the same script. MSU gets down by a lot early. comes back, gets a slim lead in the second half, but they can't build on it. And then Michigan slash UConn surges ahead at the very end. Again, only so many thoughts I can truly give you because like there's nothing to like point to the future because that's it. That's kind of, but like you want more out of Fears. A couple of not great turnovers, another not great day from the field for him. It's just gonna miss Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper personally. They were both fun guys to talk to. Were gracious in the locker room after the game. But again, Cooper had a good game. Again, like Kohler has had a really good senior season as well. Both guys who have just had a continued progression through 4 years at Michigan State. Something again that is rare, more and more rare each year to see in college basketball. Again, I think they're two of the 22. I'm trying to remember what the number. I think it was 22 high major scholarship players who stayed at one school for 4 years. Like that's 2 out of 22 in the across 60 something teams at the high major, 60 or so, give or take, at the high major level. Like it's rare. It's rare. It's legitimately rare these days. So again, you have to appreciate these stories as they come along. I think as long as Tom Izzo's here, you're usually going to have a couple of guys maybe like that. Again, like you have the portal coming up now. Like Cohen Carr is going to be a guy like that next season. I think we'll. I mean, again, we'll just have to see with the portal. Uh, I'll probably talk more about the portal in the future. I just don't want to really talk about the portal right now. Just keep your talent. That's all I'm gonna say there. But we'll dive more deep into that once more names get entered and we get closer to the actual portal opening. But yeah, I mean, to some level, I'm just like you lost to a better team. I thought UConn was gonna win a close one. I guess in an unfortunate sense, I was vindicated in that way. I didn't think it was going to go the way it did. I didn't think you're going to see one team jump out to that giant lead like they did. I don't remember if I said like 2 or 3 possessions, but it was something like that, like within 10. I do remember. I know I said within 10, which not the boldest prediction. Like I think I had a decent read on the game. But yeah, I mean, that's it for Michigan State basketball. Again, the portal isn't going to open until after the national championship game, and that will be that. But again, UConn, really good team. Not a, I said this too, not a program you want to face in this phase of the NCAA tournament. They haven't lost an NCAA tournament game in the second weekend or later since 2009. That was Michigan State in the Final Four, actually. But along they've again entering this year. I'm recording this like early Sunday morning, by the way. If they lose to Duke, ignore this part, I guess. But again, I think now they've won. So you do the math: 17 straight games. They've gotten 4 straight now. Entering this year, last 4 times they made the Sweet 16, they've won the title. So again, that's 4 times 4, 16. Now they've beaten Michigan State 17 straight times. They've won when it's the Sweet 16 or later. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. 9 straight under Dan Hurley. And Dan Hurley's not a coach you want to face in March either. 2 national titles tells you all you need to know there. I guess I'll quickly talk about hockey too. Uh, yeah, I was listening to it mostly on the radio. I was driving back from DC. Had to get a couple hours of sleep. Left a little bit after 8 a.m. Got caught in some traffic in Maryland, but just kind of kept trucking and was just kind of the target zone. Was trying to be there and try to watch the end of the game on television. MSU went up 3-1, like kind of as I was pulling in, like to my driveway practically. I walk in and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to see the end. They're going to go clinch the Frozen Four spot. All is dandy. Wisconsin then goes boom, boom. It's tied. I'm like, oh boy. And then goes to overtime and that happens. So, yeah, I don't know as much about hockey as I do basketball, admittedly. But 20 years now without a Frozen Four for Michigan State hockey. I mean, it's an unacceptable drought. Simple as that. It's the longest one the program has experienced since they first made the Frozen Four back 59, I believe it was. But again, these last 3 years, they've been a top seed in the region and they've blown it 3 times. They've gone 2-3 in the NCAA tournament under Adam Nightingale. The 2 wins, one was in overtime against Western Michigan, who was a 4 seed in that tournament, so not great. And the UConn game, again, I only mildly watched this because they were having a practice before the Sweet 16 for this part. Like UConn played better than Michigan State. UConn probably wins that game 70% of the time, but Augustine was so great in that game that they were able to grind out a win. So like two wins that were not super great, and your three losses. Regional final to Michigan, always just that's horrific. Losing to Michigan in the NCAA tournament, nightmare fuel for a Michigan State program. In the final seconds to Cornell, first round upset, 1-4 game. It's not good. I mean, first round upset, and you blow a 3-1 lead with 5 minutes left uh, to another Big Ten foe in Wisconsin. Like it's pretty dreadful. I mean, there's not many words you can truly put on it. Makes you feel like they're cursed almost, but like they've got to just get over that hump some way somehow. All you can do is try to reload for next year. But until they get to a Frozen Four, man, that label of a team that is underperforming in March, which is fair, that's gonna stick. So they don't get to it. I thought like they didn't make a Frozen Four this year. It's going to be a little testy, and it's feeling a little testy now. So they've got some really good talent coming in. They've got the Mason West kid, the Joshua Ravensbergen. I don't know if I said that name right, but again, a couple of first round picks coming in. But you are going to be losing a lot of really, really good players. Martone's probably signing onto the Flyers. Augustine's probably going to the Red Wings again. You got Ravensbergen coming in probably to start. You still have Melvin Strahl too, who's another Blue Jackets prospect. But again, Martone's probably gone. Augustine's probably gone. Basgill's gone. O'Connell's gone. Stramel's gone. Losing a lot of talent this season, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they look next season. Though, admittedly, not too much of a hockey guy, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, sums up my overall thoughts here. Went a little longer tonight, but hey, there's been a lot going on, but things are cooling off now. All the season's pretty much officially done for. Football's obviously been long done, but they are in spring practice right now, so there'll be plenty of content coming your way on that whenever they have those next availabilities. But basketball's done, hockey's done, men's basketball's done, women's basketball's done, hockey's done. Yeah, but we're kind of in off-season mode now, for the most part. Still always going to have some stuff for you guys there. Keep checking it out, though, at SpartanNation.com or Michigan State Spartans on SI. There'll be plenty more podcast content coming your way. But yeah, that's all for now. I'm Jim Cloud Sneaka. I'll see you guys around.